Yeah, we're good.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this meeting of the Licensing Committee, and welcome to the members of the public who are watching this meeting on the East Suffolk YouTube channel. I'm Councillor Lee Reeves, Chair of the committee. The Licensing Committee has responsibility for the functions set out in the Council's constitution, which includes but is not limited to the power to licence hackney carriages, private hire vehicles, pleasure boats, street trading and pet shops. The committee is also responsible for discharging the licensing functions under the Licensing Act 2003 and the Gambling Act 2005, and to undertake hearings and determination of applications in accordance with relevant statutory requirements. There is no fire alarm test scheduled for today. Therefore, if the alarm sounds, please follow the green emergency exit signage to the nearest available exit. Do not use the lift. Please go to the fire assembly point at the entrance to Redouna Park in front of the concrete structure. Do not re-enter the building until informed to do so by the evacuation coordinator or the fire service. Will all those present please keep their microphones muted until they are called to speak. Please can I ask those in the room to make sure their microphones are positioned close enough to register your voice, and also to switch them off when you have finished speaking to avoid feedback. I invite the officers to introduce themselves by name and position and advise which agenda items they are here to present.
Tiffany Bentley, Licensing Manager, and it is 4, 5 and 6.
Katie Cassidy, Democratic Services Officer, and I'm clerking tonight.
Thank you. Apologies, substitutions.
We've had apologies from Councillor Hedgley.
Declarations of interest. If members have an interest, could they please clarify if it is a disclosable pecuniary interest, DPI, and other registrable interest, ORI, or a non-registrable interest, NRI, and what the details of the interest are. No. Okay, move to agenda item 3, which is minutes of the last meeting held on 19th of January. Yes. Can I have a proposer and a seconder? Yeah, proposer. Councillor Robinson. Seconder. Councillor Back. Are there any? Presumably no comments on the minutes. So long ago, I couldn't quite remember everything about it. Yes, I did. Yes. Okay, move to agenda item 4, consideration of proposed amendments to the hackney carriage and private hire vehicle specification. I therefore invite Councillor Candy to present the report, and the supporting officer is Tiffany Bentley.
Thank you very much, Chair. So, agenda item 4 is coming to you about vehicle specification. So, just to introduce it, East Suffolk Council is responsible for licensing hackney carriage and private hire vehicles, with public safety being the key priority. So, following feedback from the garages that carry out these vehicle tests, the licensing team have reviewed the current vehicle spec and is proposing some amendments. These updates aim to strengthen safety standards to reflect current DVSA guidance and provide greater clarity and allow flexibility where needed. Members are asked to consider the proposed changes and, if they are content, approve a 6-week consultation with licence holders, stakeholders and the public before any final decision is made. Do you like me to read the recommendation?
Yeah.
So the recommendation for the licensing committee is that 1, you review the proposed amendments to the vehicle specification with the East Suffolk Council's taxi licensing policy, making any necessary amendments, and 2, give approval to begin public consultation on the proposed changes. Thank you.
Do we have any questions, Councillor Roberts?
Yeah, it's a comment really. I've read the proposals, and I mean, if you go back, it's perfectly logical to do this because vehicles are changing, regulations are changing, and we're aligning up the regulations, or proposals are aligning up the regulation more closely with the ministry. I mean, at one time, you couldn't have a taxi with an engine under 1600 cc, but now 1000 cc, twice as fast. So, yeah, the old regulations, things are progressing, so I'm quite happy with that.
And we don't need the hay in the back, do we? Any other questions? No? That's good. Okay. I therefore invite the committee to debate the recommendations. Sorry? Oh, to debate or to propose? Oh, right. Okay, so the second amendment. Okay, Councillor Pack. Okay, in that case, we move to the vote and declare the result. All those in favour?
Yeah.
Unanimous. Right. So we move to agenda item 5, which is an update affecting licensing service. And again, I invite Councillor Candy to present the report and supporting officer is Tiffany Bentley.
Thank you very much, Chair. So this is an update for members on a number of legislative changes that are likely to affect the Council's licensing responsibilities in the future. The report highlights developments in areas such as taxi and private hire licensing, gambling regulation, and the sale of tobacco and vaping products. Some changes are agreed that are awaiting further regulations and guidance before coming into force. Other changes are still being developed by government. In summary, these changes are intended to strengthen public safety, improve consumer protection, support public health, and provide greater consistency in the way licensing services are delivered. Officers will continue to monitor developments and keep members updated as further details emerge, and the implications for East Suffolk become much clearer. Existing policies and procedures can be reviewed with consultation as necessary. Members are asked to note the report and the steps being taken nationally to modernise and strengthen licensing frameworks across several factors. It's just a note, isn't it?
Yes.
So, licensing committee are asked to note the contents of the report.
Any questions?
To comment, so you can see that they're sort of bringing back the modern simplicity.
Finally.
I was going to ask one question on tobacco and vapes. The Act provides powers to introduce a licensing regime for retailers, but what power do we have, like, within the next few weeks to start reviewing that?
We don't have anything at present.
Okay.
Oh, very sorry.
Sorry.
Right, thank you. Double pressing.
So yeah, there's no additional powers
at present for district level licensing authorities. The powers or the parts of this particular act that come into effect are the prevention of
it's the smoke-free generation,
before 2009 purchasing tobacco. So that is in effect, and then the ban on the sale of disposable vapes is in effect as well.
But they are not our level of powers. The licensing scheme is what's coming, and that's part of the effective authorities. But that is subject to secondary legislation, regulation, license, and sometimes so it's a sort of stepped approach. But there's a large amount of work associated with that, the application process and fees, all of those questions about how long these last, and there are powers set in the Act specifically relating to trading standards. So it's a kind of a sort of joined up approach between those two areas as well.
Thank you. Any further questions? No?
Quite logical. Just any suggestion of a timescale? Really? Are you just guessing?
I don't know. It's the short answer. I think it's probably going to be quite well publicised in terms of the communications that have got to go around to the industry, if you like, because they are unregulated at the moment. So assessment of numbers, how many are involved, on is something that we would need in order to look at the impact of that on too. But timescales, I don't know. There was some talk of it being quite quick, but I think the government says no, we will bring it as with sufficient notice. What that means, I don't know. But obviously we just have to watch the national picture and keep in touch with it and see how it comes down to.
Councillor Fisher?
Is there currently licensing for the sale of tobacco? This is just vapes, is it? Or is tobacco not licensed?
So there is no licensing regime for either of the products at the moment. So it is a brand new one. It's tricky. We just do not know. We have some information because obviously we've got some premises that we know are already licensed around the whole. There's quite a lot that will have tobacco and vape products as well. It's trading standards have got some information in terms of whether they've had some age-related issues or something like that as well. They haven't got an alcohol license. It may have some information. Planning may have some information too, because they are retail units, but it's only there's been a change of use. So I don't think there's a specific category. So we've got sort of a partial picture from several authorities, but no clear idea. But I think it's safe to say there's point of view. Whether it's any conjunction or any kind of amalgamation with the alcohol licensing legislation, I don't know. But obviously there are some who are outside of that regime. Consultation is quite important, I think, for that reason, to get that basis of the data and evidential basis of how we move forward.
I mean, were it to come in, say, December or something like that, do you feel that trading standards yourself should have sufficient capacity to do it?
My initial feeling is probably no. But that's just based on knowledge of current workloads and experience of bedding in a whole different legislation, because I would assume it's going to follow the same kind of personal forensic basis. It's going to be quite similar. There's got to be something for hearings, there's got to be right down to how do we set the fees, are they locally set, are they nationally set? Can the database deal with it? How do we make licenses? Do the police need to know? All of those factors are there. So the design of a scheme is it's quite labour intensive, plus any enforcement that goes on with that too.
Do you want to add anything else?
Thank you very much, Chair. I was going to make a fairly similar point actually, that I think when we do eventually know, it's going to put quite a strain on the team. There's going to be a lot to do, and this is something that we know the public wants. The big inboxes are full of these shop things, aren't they? So I think we have to be aware that this is going to put quite a strain on the team, and work towards easing that if we can.
Yeah, and then obviously just pop in the local government reorganisation as well. So yes, exactly when how those things meet. Yeah.
Possibly government reorganisation.
Possibly go wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, if there's nothing else, we move to the vote on accepting the proposal. I think we're just noting, aren't we? Yes. Okay. All happy to note? Yes. Right. So, rattling through agenda item 6, issued licences in East Suffolk. An overview of the work of the licensing subcommittee generated June 2026. And again, I invite Councillor Candy to present the reports.
Thank you, Chair. I've just had an email saying, can you let them know the sound's distorted on the live feed?
Oh.
Can't be heard properly. No comment on that. Thank you, Edward.
Doesn't mean we got to go again.
You can go now.
Maybe just make sure you've got your mics
Yeah.
really close and speak loudly.
Okay, a bit closer. Right, thank you, Chair. So this is a licensing service overview. I'm sure you've all seen it, and the report provides an overview of the current number and licenses issued with regard to the Licensing Act 2003, Gambling Act 2005, and taxis by East Suffolk Council. The report also summarises the applications received and the work of the licensing subcommittees from January to June 2026. And I think you'll all agree it's really good to see it like that, and absolutely gives an idea of the work involved for everybody. Thank you. I think this is just a note. So Chair, just the committee notes the overview of some of the work of the licensing team and the licensing subcommittees during the first half of 2026.
Thank you. Any questions for Councillor Candy? Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Just one. There were alternate the persons reliably. I've got query on one of the applications that we passed that took 6.5 hours to deliver. And I just wondered if there were any complaints to the public, because the amendments that we put in were quite strict. So we've got the license. I just wondered if there been any updated residents to say that it was about 25 business.
There was no appeal, I suppose, is the kind of starting point for that, the first initial remedy. In terms of the length of it, it was quite a long one, but sometimes it's kind of necessary to get all of, a lot of people's thoughts and opinions out, isn't it? So obviously all parties had the decision notice, so the conditions and so on was sent to all, so everyone is aware of those. I believe there may have been some queries about events and timings and so on. We haven't got anything kind of, an open investigation in that sense, licensing wise. The licensing enforcement officer has been and, kind of had a conversation about the implementation of those conditions and how things are working and so on. But yeah, there's nothing open with licensing. I'm not sure, as we stand, if there's anything open with environmental protection regarding noise, but we can follow up on that. So.
Anybody else? No. Okay, in that case, we can note the report, the overview. And hopefully, that's that. We've now concluded the business on the agenda. I'd like to thank everyone for attending today and those of you who have viewed the meeting via YouTube. I will now close the meeting and ask the meeting host to end the live feed. Please can members keep their microphones muted until the meeting host has confirmed that the feed has ceased. Thank you. Thank you.